Let's get right to it. We'll start with the Pittsburgh Steelers. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. We've seen a marked shift in the odds, specifically as it pertains to Shedeur Sanders ending up in Pittsburgh. Now, plus 195 to end up a Pittsburgh Steeler. This is something I know you think could happen. Tell us why.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of had, been thinking about it for a couple of days here, and I actually did not even know that it moved over to being the favorite, the Pittsburgh Steelers. But the more I thought about it, and I have my own little ways of thinking, and I consider myriad factors. But at the bottom line, this came down to me: need plus culture plus a legacy program, in the Pittsburgh Steelers. It really adds up. And talking about the need, I mean, the Steelers lost their last 4 regular season games. Then they got their butts beat in the playoffs. So they lost 5 in a row. And currently, they have the worst quarterback room in the NFL with Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson. So it just makes way too much sense. Plus, it's plus 190. That's not too shabby. I just don't think any of the teams here at the top that have quarterback needs, Cleveland, the Giants, that's too early. Even Vegas, I think that's too early. And then I think by the time the Steelers are up there at 21, that's a little early for the teams that move back up into round number 1 to get that quarterback, teams at the top, like a Giants or a Browns. So end of the day, I added this all up. I'm like, yeah, I think he's going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. So let's win some money here at plus 190.
For a short period of time, Shedeur Sanders was the betting favorite to go to the Saints, especially with the news on Derek Carr's shoulder. But that has changed a little bit. Another quarterback has entered the chat there. You think Jaxson Dart might go there? Tell me more about Dart. Tell me more about the Saints' needs.
They have Derek Carr on the roster, so, that's not dire right now, but, I think Pittsburgh's quarterback room is worse, but, I like it as, look, this is a little bit of a long shot here, a little bit of a contrarian play. Basically, my contention is that there's maybe a 51% chance, 52, that Dart goes over Shedeur, which means he'd be the second quarterback drafted, and that's plus 200. The odds on DraftKings for Dart to be a first rounder are minus 300. So the books think he's going to be a first rounder. And then even total quarterback selected in the first round over 2.5, that is the favorite. That's minus 135. There will not be another quarterback considered in the round 1 other than Dart and Sanders, of course, and then Cam Ward. So, yeah, it just comes down to, I don't know about New Orleans. It could happen. Absolutely could happen. But it comes down to, do you think Dart will go over Shedeur? A little bit of a hot take, but I think at plus 200, it's a worthwhile gambit.
The NFL draft starts this Thursday, and VSiN knows every pick matters. Tune in for 2 special live shows breaking down every pick from a betting perspective. VSiN Primetime Draft Edition starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by Cashing Out Draft Edition at 11 p.m. Plus, explore our NFL Draft Hub over on the VSiN Watch app, featuring exclusive analysis, team needs, and insights. Visit vsin.com/draft for full coverage and stream it all on the VSiN Watch app. We got the guru, John Hansen, joining us on the Progressive Guest Line. John, I want to get back to some of the NFL draft betting markets that you're eyeing up. And I know you're taking a look at Quinshon Judkins, the other running back alongside Travion Henderson coming out of Ohio State. You're looking at Judkins to be drafted not only in the first round, but to also be perhaps the second running back off the board.
Long shots here. Let's be clear here. To be drafted in the first round is plus 1,800. So, we're playing with, we're just throwing a couple shekels over there and hoping for a big payoff. We're not putting $1,000 on this puppy. But I like Quinshon Judkins. I do think that there will be 3 running backs drafted, and he does not even have to be one of them for this to hit at plus 180. Between Ashton Jeanty, Judkins, Amarian Hampton, and Travion Henderson, I think we'll get 3 out of that 4. I don't think any of the other running backs are going to be considered in round 1, but I think we get 3 out of the 4. And, when I look at the board, what happens, if the Broncos are up there at 21 or 20, And they look at their roster and they're like, well, Sean Payton is like, well, Jaleel McLaughlin, he may not be Travion Henderson, but Quinshon Judkins would pair a little bit better, I believe, with a Jaleel McLaughlin. So I don't necessarily think Travion Henderson is going to Denver. So that's my thought process there with the plus 1,800 going in the first round. Again, that's a long shot, but again, we will get three running backs drafted in round number 1, I do believe. And I'm not overreacting. Oh, the running backs are back. Some people will say, oh, well, you're getting tricked a little bit. Not really. I think they are kind of back. Not totally. You might argue Genty at 6 or whatever is not a great efficient pick because they're not really ready to win and all that. But the running backs are back. So I think we do get the 3 running backs in round 1.
We're talking with the fantasy guru himself, John Hansen from Fantasy Points and host of Prop Points during football season as well. John, you're a huge Vikings guy. They only have 4 picks in this draft. They have to pick at 24. Are they going to spend it on a safety? Or is it something else? What do you like for the Vikings to do in the first round?
Real quick, before I answer that, let me back up a moment because I took the time to look, and here are the teams with a legitimate chance to draft a running back no later than like the 3rd round. Cleveland, the Giants, New England, Jacksonville, Vegas, New Orleans, Chicago, San Fran, Dallas, Miami, Cincinnati, Tennessee, Pittsburgh, LA Chargers, Green Bay, Minnesota, Houston, Washington, KC. Like, it would shock no one if one of those teams took a running back in one of the first 2 or 3 rounds. Now, on to the Minnesota Vikings. They only have 4 picks. So they need to maximize this and get an impact starter. And their roster is set. They could probably use help on the O-line, although, they added Freeze and Braden Smith. So not Braden Smith, Ryan Kelly, the other Colt veteran. So they added 2 veterans on the O-line. We're good at receiver. They could certainly use a running back. Now you turn your attention to the defense. It's clearly safety or corner. And I'm going to go safety here because I think it's a little bit of a bigger need. Cam Bynum, they lost him in free agency, one of the guys they could not keep. When you look at the depth here, they do a good job at corner. They lost some guys, but they do a good job of getting a lot out of the players that they have. They have bodies at corner who I think they can fill in the gaps for this year. Then they can draft a safety and have him learn under Harrison Smith for a year, like a Malachi Starks, and now we're good. So I'm feeling really good about it. It's definitely going to be a corner or a safety, but at plus 200 for safety, I think that's a slam dunk.
All right, Guru, we got about 25 seconds for this one. I don't like to say this often on TV, but I am a Jaguars fan. I know you have a long shot as a potential first-round stab for them.
Well, I don't think enough people are talking about tight end, quite frankly. So I think Tyler Warren, plus 2,000 as of yesterday, is pretty darn good. They traded away Evan Ingram and Christian Kirk. So I like that one.
Thanks for watching, but don't let the betting insights end here. If you want an extra edge this football season, you can get a month of VSiN Pro right now, absolutely free. That means access to our betting insights, analysis, and tools like our betting splits at 0 cost to you. Click the link in the description to sign up.